Chapter 1. Amplitude and Anguish. I stood at the edge of the floor, waiting for the judge's green flag to rise. My heart raced as I wiped the sweat from my hands onto my bare legs. That moment, standing alone, waiting for my turn to perform, I always felt my nerves. The rush of adrenaline coursed through my body, but I had to wait. I entered into a focused trance, repeating to myself, reach, set, pull. With each word, I adjusted my body slightly to simulate the movements of a full twisting, straight-bodied flip. It was the most challenging move in my floor routine. My brain reminded my body what it must do to successfully complete the full without killing myself in the process. I would reach my arms straight up as I rebounded into the air after my back handspring. At the peak of my jump, I'd set my shoulders slightly forward to initiate rotation, flipping my feet over my head. Then pull my left arm down diagonally across my torso to begin the twisting motion of my full twisting layout. Reach, set, pull. At last, the judge's green flag went up. I lifted my chin and raised the corners of my mouth in a reserved yet confident smile. To acknowledge the judge, I extended my right arm into the air with my fingers poised like a ballerina's. The judge's encouraging smile and slight nod signaled that I could begin. I moved into my starting position and inhaled the gym's chalky air. The first note of music sounded. My performance began. Master of my body, I pulled around the full twisting layout while flying through the air and playfully pranced through my routine, savoring every moment, feeling free. Athlete to supermom. For 10 glorious years, from age 12 to 22, I competed in a sport I adored. If a female gymnast's body survives the athletic demands into young adulthood, and she competes in college, graduation generally marks the end of her competitive career. For me, the only team member who didn't spend hours each week taping her joints or treating her injuries, it was an entirely unwelcome end. But life went on. My medical doctor dad and PhD psychologist mom were my role models. They loved and supported me unconditionally, as did my college sweetheart husband. I earned my graduate degree in environmental health science from the Harvard School of Public Health. Hired by a consulting firm, I spent my days building my career. Teaching gymnastics in the evenings filled my vast athletic void. Still missing the rigorous physical workouts of gymnastics, I stayed active by dabbling in tennis, bicycling, jogging, weightlifting, swimming, and skiing. Honestly, however, none of these sports matched my love for gymnastics, the full-body workout, the array of events, and the all-consuming focus and concentration were, en masse, unparalleled. So I moonlighted as a coach in exchange for workout time in local gyms. 18 years after my collegiate gymnastics career ended, I was the epitome of supermom, juggling a 17-year marriage, raising our 2 young daughters, handling a demanding consulting job. In our 2-story colonial in posh Chevy Chase, Maryland, I felt extremely fortunate to have my picture-perfect upper-middle-class life. Pop. On one typical day, I arrived a little late to my consulting job after unsticking my clinging preschool daughter from my body and depositing my grade school daughter at her bus stop. I had a pressing deadline and lots to get done. Why hadn't I done more of it earlier? Truth is, I loved the adrenaline rush. Just under the deadline, I finished and sent out my project report. Then I ran to the car and sped to my younger daughter's preschool, trying to avoid the $1 per minute late pickup charge. After extracting my 4-year-old from free play, never an easy task, I drove the few miles to pick up the 10-year-old at her after-school program. Arrived home, fed kids snack, carted them to lessons, cooked, ate, assisted older daughter with homework, folded laundry, chatted with husband, prepared kids for bed, read to toddler to soothe her to sleep. I think I can, said the little engine there. I felt my daughter's elbow in my side. I'd fallen asleep mid-sentence. Forcing my eyes open, I finished reading. After tucking in the girls, it was time to check work emails to catch up on projects I'd neglected while preparing the last report. Finally, sometime around midnight, I collapsed into a deep sleep. At about 5:00 a.m., I was startled awake by a pop in my neck as I rolled over in bed. My neck hurt, but not enough to stop me from taking the kids to school and driving to work. I figured the pain would subside as the day progressed. However, while I sat in my office chair working at the computer, I became more and more uncomfortable. As a former competitive gymnast who'd routinely brushed off bumps, bruises, breaks, and strains, I had a pretty high tolerance for pain. By noon, I could no longer sit. Sharp, stabbing, burning, shooting pain gripped the left side of my neck, consuming my entire consciousness. I decided to go home and work, thinking I might get something done after I rested my neck for a while. As the afternoon wore on, I kept expecting the pain to ease up. Instead, it got worse. The rest of the day was a blur. After lying down for a few hours, I managed to pick up the kids from school and quickly return home to rest my neck again. I tried to work lying down using my office laptop, but the pain made it impossible for me to focus. Somehow we ate dinner and got ready for bed. It was September 1st, 2005, a day I'll never forget.